again, everybody, and welcome to another Wilson's Workshop. I am, of course, Wilson, and in this episode, we're going to be installing another Dinobot combiner upgrade. This time, it is the TDW, I don't know the number, TDW Transform Dreamwave TCW-06. That's not confusing at all. All you need to know is the Transformers Dreamwave Volcanicus upgrade. I have all the parts laid out. This is basically kind of how they're going to be going on his body. This is the regular sword you get. It's a nice actual metallic orange sword. It's a lot less orange than in the original pictures, which I like. If you ordered ahead of time, you get an exclusive. I don't know. This is a bag full of just the original G1 weapons. I don't know if these are part of the exclusive. As you can see, they're just mainly black except for a couple of red. But the big exclusive that you get is another giant sword in all black. Yep. The companies are really trying hard these days to give you the exclusives and give you the most for your money. I guess if you want to paint it or even leave it black if you like it. If you like it, that's fine. You like what you like. But you could paint it silver or whatever. I was disappointed to see that it was just straight black. They could have given some kind of color, I think. But let's go ahead and install this thing. I have a completely fresh new Grimlock. If you saw my Perfect Effect video, you know I modified that. You can check that out to see how that goes on. This one has not been touched in any other way. This is the configuration that you need to have them in to install this kit. This kit is pretty easy, honestly, to install. It is way easier than the Perfect Effect. There will be no need for any tools or removing parts, anything like that. Everything snaps onto this guy, as you will see. So, much like the Perfect Effect, we have this chest piece, and this chest piece slides on right here. Let Grimlock's head go through and push it on, and there you go. There's holes in there. Put Grimlock's head down, and that was that. That's easy, right? Looks good. There's a lot of nice detail in there. This silver and everything. This is painted really nice. This whole kit has some good paint work on it. Next things are simple. They're these little backpack things right here. There's a little area for a tab to go, and they go on the little tabs on Grimlock's arms. What would be his shoulders in regular bot mode. Just when you're putting them on, you want to make sure that the tab goes on the bottom. And these need to be probably forward a little bit more. And there you go. As you can see, kind of makes the shoulders bulkier, and it does cover up where Grimlock's regular hands just folded in. Next piece is this piece. This is the back piece for this set. As with all the other sets, all these pieces turn into shields or some kind of weapon. I'm not going to go through all that in this, but what you do is to attach this, you have these tabs. So these tabs are going to go in these tab holes right here, and then this piece moves up and down, so you want to have it up, and this hole, these holes on each side, are going to plug into the holes on Grimlock's arms, so you do kind of have to have them moved back, which also helps with the front two parts that I just put on have space to stay on. So I'm just going to show you this side. Plug that in. If you have everything lined up correctly, you can get it to tap into his back like that. All connected. This area right here is where the sword can plug in. Looks pretty cool. Not as thick as the Perfect Effect one, but again, nice gold paint. Everything nice and shiny. So then we're going to move on to the crotch. So actually for the crotch, we need to start at the back. This piece goes right here and slides in, and you're going to see these holes right here, and there are some tabs right there on his legs, which of course is obviously where those tap in. So I suggest getting it as straight on as possible. This might be the most difficult piece to put on, just in terms of space, getting everything lined up correctly, and all these pieces unfolded. Once you get one tab in, then you're pretty good to go. It's just difficult to try and make sure you don't want to stretch this out too, because stretch these pieces out too far or even break them. That's the one worrying thing. It is a tight fit. There we go. See? So as that leaves, you can see this kind of key piece that's supposed to stick out between his legs, and that's got a hole here, which is for the piece from the Hasbro toy, and that peg goes right into that hole and secures that a lot better for you to be able to take their crotch piece and just slide it over. You need to make sure that this piece is down like that, and you just slide it over the Hasbro one like that. It snaps in and around real well, and there you go. There it is. That's the upper part, and his crotch. We only have two more pieces other than the hands and legs, and those pieces would be these thigh pieces. Now that was one of my big complaints about him, is he's got just like anorexic legs and thighs, and no offense to any anorexic people, I've known some, it's just a phrase. So what you do is you have the piece like this. This part folds in and out. This one folds in and out as well. Like that. You want them both open. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny hole right there for this tiny, tiny peg. And just basically snap that in. Flip around, that snaps on the back. And then we got that piece on perfectly. It says in the instructions, if you can see that, and it's difficult, and I'm not sure it really matters, but see how that clicks up and down? They say that this side, you need to have the little peg facing up, right? Now the other side is, of course, opposite. Why? I don't know. I don't know what difference it makes, but that's what the instructions say. And there you have it. That's the combiner core. That's all the pieces for the combiner core, and that was a very quick, very easy install. I'm not going to say that everything stays on great. I have a bit of a problem sometimes with this, and these come undone. And if you don't get these on real nice and tight, there is a problem. Let's go ahead. I'll just quickly show the feet and hands. Not much different than the Perfect Effect ones. Not as tall. They got some nice gold on them. The hands are where these really shine. These hands are just awesome. Not only do they have better articulation, they're painted. They got nails. The nails move. And these fingers can splay like that. It's just great. These hands are great. I will say though that plugging them in is extremely tight on both of them. Like really, really tight. And I tried my swoops and I tried my snarls, and it was tight on all of them. So may require some sanding down of this peg just a little bit, but you will get them in and it will be awesome. So here they are next to each other. Obviously the one I just did, TDW, and then Perfect Effect. Perfect Effect is just a little bit taller because you do add leg extensions, and his arms are laid out differently because you give him bigger arm pieces. And comparing the two backs, completely different, especially up here as you can see, and then the back of the legs and everything in the back here. This one has a ton more detail in here and in other places, and yeah, he's thickened up all over the place, nice and bulky. Pairing the feet, we have TDW and Perfect Effect, and they both have ratchets. Perfect Effect has nice ones side to side, doesn't have any front to back. This one has ratchets front and really tight ones front to back, but none side to side. It's a tough call. I haven't really decided which feet I like the best. And then for the hands, you got the lovely, beautiful TDW, all that nice color, and then you have the plain black. It does have spikes, Perfect Effect hands, and with no claws and no paint. So, yep. And here he is, fully combined. He looks pretty spectacular. The sword fits in his hand relatively okay. It's just like any masterpiece figures that you may have. There's a slot in the hand and then a tab for the sword to go into. It's just rather short, so it doesn't always stay, but I put some Future on it and it seems okay. I also tested all the limbs to see if all of them could hold the sword like upright like this, and none of them could because of the weight. So I did have to Future the hips on these swoops. Swoop was the worst. You can see what I mean by Future if you watched my last workshop episode about fixing loose joints. It was pretty boring. It was like watching a guy just paint, as Berg so nicely put it. If you're crazy like me and you also bought the 2 Perfect Effects sets, the hands and feet set and then the complete body one, these can work in conjunction. Pretty much everything works perfectly except for the leg area. Since you extend the legs on the Perfect Effect ones, the pieces that wrap around on this hip area right in there, the pegs are too high or low. I don't know. It doesn't line up. If you look at this picture that I took, you can get it to fit by sliding still the pieces between the legs together. And there's been debate between me and other people in my life of whether the tail pieces on the legs go front or back. I say they go on front, especially with this guy, because you can't pull his legs out. If you want a spreaded stance, you're going to have him push forward like that and then actually have the knee bend at the guys like it's supposed to. With the Perfect Effect one, it can be either way, but I think it's supposed to be the same kind of idea, so you can get longer, wider, more dynamic poses out of it. I played with a ton of different combinations between the 2 sets. I've come up with what I believe is my favorite one. It's all subjective and to your taste. If I had to say, if you only want to get one kit, this one is the one to get. Unfortunately, Perfect Effect seems to be slipping a lot lately. This is the one that you get your money's worth of the most. It makes him look better, I think, than the Perfect Effect, especially in the chest and the upper area. He just looks like a bigger guy. I will show you quickly here at the end my favorite combination, and you can see what I've used and where. This one is also easier to install. There's literally just snapping pieces on, and everything pretty much stays on really well. In the comments, let me know which one you think is the best. And also, we have a Patreon page. If you think that this show or any of our content is worth even $1, at the $1 level, you'll get a thank you like you'll see at the end of this show. You get exclusive reviews, all kinds of cool stuff at different tiers. Please check us out and feel free to support us. It's not a lot. It's a $1, $2, $3 tier levels. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Be on the lookout for the next episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye. And special treat just for you people who stuck around till the end. He will hold the Perfect Effect big bastard sword. You have to get the fingers really tight around the handle. I'm going to have somebody make me a shapeways piece that will slide over this, have the little connector for the hands, and make the handle a bit longer. Bird, get on that. I know you're going to do it.